Hi students! Today we're going to be talking about ratio tables and how we can think about skip counting and multiples and common factors and dividing and scaling when we're using ratio tables to demonstrate the relationship between two quantities. Here are our notes on ratio tables. We are going to look at how you can use a ratio table to be able to compare numbers to each other and think about how they are related to each other. So for instance, here we have an example. To make 5 apple pies, Emily needs 2 pounds of apples. How many pounds of apples does she need to make 20 apple pies? So let's figure out what we have in our table here. First of all, we have a horizontal table. Sometimes they are also vertical, and you can see in step 1 it says to draw a table. And you can choose whether you like to draw horizontal tables or vertical tables. So here's an example of a horizontal table. And then as you can see, I have number of pies, 5, and number of apples, 2. So we use 2 apples to make, and this is supposed to be pounds of apples, but we shortened it to just apples. So 2 pounds of apples to make 5 pies. And you can see here step 2 is fill in values with pairs of numbers that have the same ratio. So I have a 5 to 2 ratio here, and the question is asking us how many pounds of apples Emily needs to make 20 apple pies. So we're going from 5 to 20. There are a couple different ways to think about this. One of the ways, as we mentioned on the previous slide, is to think about skip counting by 5s to get up to 20. And even though you only have one box here, we could easily split that box into 2 so that we could use the counting by kind of principle here. And we can count by 5s to get to 20. And as you know, that would be 5, 10, 15, and then that would bring us to 20. And since we're creating a ratio that is equivalent to 5/2, but that has a numerator of 20, then we look at the bottom and we see 2, and we would have to count by 2s. And we would count by 2s for each value that we wrote for the number of pies. So 4, 6, and then 8 would go with 20. So that means to make 20 pies, you would need 8 pounds of apples. Let's take a look at this next example, and we have a couple more horizontal tables to look at. So it says, before leaving to visit Mexico, Vincent traded 270 American dollars and received 3,000 Mexican pesos. When he returned from Mexico, he had 100 pesos left. How much will he receive when he exchanges these pesos for dollars? So as we can see in our table, it's already filled out for us. We have American dollars, 270, and Mexican pesos, 3,000. And so we know that when he left to visit Mexico, he had 3,000, he received 3,000 pesos. And then when he was coming back to the United States, he only received 100 back, so he spent a lot of pesos. Now let's see how much American dollars, when he comes into the country, how many American dollars 100 pesos will give him. So another way to use tables is to use either multiplication or division. In the previous example, we used skip counting. And on this one, it doesn't seem like I could skip count. It's not a lot of room. I would have to skip count down from 3,000 all the way to 100. That's not very convenient. But what I can think about is what math operation I would do to 3,000 to get to 100 in one step. And whenever I'm thinking about a math operation and I'm looking at ratios and equivalent ratios, I want to think about using multiplication or division as my operations. So some people think you might subtract to get from 3,000 to 100, but that actually wouldn't give us an equivalent ratio. Only by using multiplication and division can we get an equivalent ratio. So what would we divide 3,000 by that would equal 100? And so that would be 30. So I can show you over here, if I took 3,000 and divided by 30, I would go ahead and use my division algorithm, and I would get, as soon as I finish bringing down all my zeros and dividing everything out here, completing all my steps, I would get 100. So 3,000 divided by 30 does give me 100. If I divide in this part of the ratio, then I have to do the exact same thing to the top part of the ratio, just like with equivalent fractions. That's what we're working with here. So I'm going to divide, and this turns out to be, I'm dividing by a big 1. To keep that relationship to the same, you have to divide by the same value in both the numerator and the denominator. So I'm going to go over to the side and complete that division. 270 divided by 30. And I would say, I'm going to use my cover method. I would cover the 0 in 30, and I would cover the 0 in 270. And now I see that 3 fits into 27 9 times, so that I would put here. Now I can remove my coverings and complete this division problem. 9 times 30 is 270. So now I see that my answer of 270 divided by 30 is 9. So over here, I'm going to write that answer of 9. And now I know that Vincent would have received $9 for his 100 Mexican pesos. In this next problem, we're going to look at yet another sort of method here. I'm going to erase all my work over here. And now I'm going to take a look at this example. So this says cans of corn are on sale at 10 for $4. Find the cost of 15 cans. So we see that there's a sale. It's 10 cans of corn for $4. And then over here we see the 15. And we want to know how much money we would spend on 15 cans of corn. So we could think about skip counting on this one. And you can see you could skip count up to 15. The only thing is 10, if you're skip counting by 5s, you would go right from 10 to 15. And so if we were counting by 4s, would it make sense to go right up to 15? Well, let's check that out. There's another method that we can use to do this problem, and that is to think about a value that we could have here by scaling that would be a factor of 10, but also be able to be multiplied by something, a whole number, that would give us 15 as a result. And whatever we divide by here to get to this mystery number, it would have to also be a factor of 4. So it's kind of like you're figuring out a sort of puzzle between these 3 numbers you have here. So when I think about that, I think, well, 10 can be divided by 2, and 4 can be divided by 2. And since I'm dividing by a big 1 of 2 over 2, then the answer I get will give me an equivalent ratio to 10/4. So 10 divided by 2 is 5, and 4 divided by 2 is 2. So now I can see that I have an equivalent ratio of 5 over 2. So for 5 cans of corn, it would be $2. And then I could use another big 1 and say 5 times something gives me 15. I would also multiply the 2 by that, and 5 times 3 is 15, so I would multiply 2 by 3. Once again, using our big 1 relationship here, and 2 times 3 is 6. Oops. 6. And now, for the cost of 15 cans, I can see that it would be $6. And so it didn't turn out to be 8, so that can be a little bit tricky, thinking that you could skip count right from 10 to 15. that didn't make sense because we weren't really starting out by counting by fives here. And so it didn't really make sense to skip count. So when you get stuck, you can always think about sort of what we did here, which is simplifying the fraction and then multiplying to get an equivalent fraction. Remembering to use multiplication and division in order to work through these ratio tables.